Hi, you one, you two. Hope you're having a nice day. I'm going to read to you again today, but before I do, let me tell you what's happened. My dog, Ronnie, she sneaked upstairs. She's got on my Amelia's bed, and when I found her, she was bouncing on it. When I said, Ronnie, get down, she lay down on the bed and fell fast asleep, or pretended she was asleep. Now, I've brought her downstairs now and asked her to be quiet while I read you a story. But she's a bit grumpy because I brought her down. But she usually likes my stories, so let's read this one. It's The Large Family, again, the family of elephants, and it's Mr. Large in Charge by Jill Murphy. Mrs. Large opened one eye and peered out at the morning. Oh, glasses on. She forced open the other eye, dragged herself out of bed and set off downstairs to the kitchen where Mr. Large had kindly started the children on their breakfast. "Oh, you look ghastly, dear," said Mr. Large. "Don't say that to Mummy," said Laura indignantly. "Mummy looks beautiful," exclaimed Lester. "Beautiful, Mummy," cooed the baby. "Yes, of course Mummy's beautiful," said Mr. Large. "I meant she doesn't look well. Are you feeling all right, dear?" "Oh, as a matter of fact, I don't feel too good," admitted Mrs. Large. "But I was going to take them all to the park later on. Then there's the shopping and there's lunch and there's..." "Well, you don't have to worry about that," said Mr. Large. "It's the weekend, so I'm in charge." "Oh, go on, back to bed with you. We'll take care of everything, won't we, kids?" "You bet," yelled Lester. Mrs. Large trudged back upstairs, clutching her nice hot water bottle, and sank back into the bed, which was still warm. "What a treat," she said. Downstairs, Mr. Large was organising his troops. "Right, men," he commanded. "We're not all men," said Laura. "Oh, you know what I mean," said Mr. Large. "Well, troops then, all right. I'll take the worst task. That's the washing up. Lester, you can tackle the hoovering. Luke, picking things up off the floor. Laura and the baby, general dusting and cushion plumping. Quick march. 1, 2, 1, 2, off you go." Mr. Large turned on the radio, found a jolly tune to cheer everyone along, and soon they were all busy with their tasks. Upstairs, Mrs. Large was jolted back from the brink of sleep by the astonishing amount of noise blasting up through the floorboards. She listened anxiously for a while, but could soon tell they were mostly happy noises. So she wedged a pillow around her ears and decided to ignore it. Mrs. Large had just drifted off to sleep when she was rudely awoken by the baby, who was giving her a thorough dusting. "Sorry, Mum," yelled Laura, rushing in and grabbing the baby. The baby began to scream and hung on to the bedclothes so that they both fell over backwards. "This isn't proving very restful, Laura," said Mrs. Large crossly, as Laura disentangled herself and the baby and attempted to bundle the bedclothes back onto the bed. "Mummy, huggy!" screamed the baby. "Want my mummy, big huggy, now!" Laura stuffed the baby under her arm and wrestled her out of the door. "Don't worry, Mum," she called as she closed the door behind them. "I'll take her down to Dad." "Don't want Dad," bellowed the baby. "Want Mum, want my mummy." Mrs. Large rearranged the mangled bedclothes and snuggled back down, feeling decidedly jangled. Suddenly there was an almighty crunch from downstairs and the hoover stopped abruptly. The bedroom door opened and Lester looked in. "Oh, it's all right, Mum," he reassured her. "Nothing broke. It just sounded really bad." Luke's head appeared round Lester's knees. "That's right, Mum," he agreed. "Nothing to worry about. You just go back to sleep. Everything's under control." Mrs. Large was finally dropping off when Mr. Large crashed open the bedroom door. "We're off now to the park, dear," he announced. "We'll get the shopping on the way home, and then we can bring you up a nice lunch." "Oh, thank you, dear," said Mrs. Large. "I'm having a lovely rest." Mr. Large beamed and blew his wife a kiss as he backed out of the room, closing the door very quietly.